I am passionate about teaching safe driving because I had so many wrecks before I was 25. When I started training across the nation, it totally changed how I drive. A difference of black and white. But anyway, boom, into a brick wall, which simulates hitting another car of the exact same weight, same size, same speed, and also 30 miles per hour, bumper to bumper.
The driving academy not only taught me how to drive, but the purpose of driving, like what could happen if this and this happens, and it teaches you like the real life situations that you don't really learn in a book, I guess.
And she explained that it was raining, which it was. She was driving in Fayetteville, and her car started hydroplaning. She said she saw that big oak tree, and she wanted to jerk that wheel and slam on the brake, but she remembered me teaching her, do not jerk the wheel, do not slam on the brake, but ease off the accelerator and look and gently steer where you do want the car to go. And she said, that's what I did, and my car got back under control. She said, I pulled over to a safe place, and I called my mom and told her what happened. And now I'm calling you to say thank you.
For my mom, I think it was just another class that I was supposed to take. Like, oh, maybe this will help him. But for me, I didn't think I would get much out of the class, but I actually learned a lot. It taught me a lot. I think it's possibly saved my life.
I got to attend it with 3 of my really good friends, and it was a really fun week for us. We got to learn a lot of different tips and just safer ways to drive our cars, which really helped us, and it made our parents have a better mind when we were driving all together. And it was just fun. Kimba was really great with us. She was a great teacher, and we just really enjoyed the class.
Okay, so let's say you take your car in to have the tires rotated. I remember when my dad told me that as a teenager, I thought, well, how stupid. My tires are rotated all the time. Why do I have to pay somebody to rotate my tires? This is what it means. They're gonna jack it up, and they're gonna take the tires off the front and put them in the back. Oops, not used to that. Take the ones in the back and put them in the front.
And I got a lot of things out of Driving Academy. I learned some pretty important things not a lot of people know. Like when your brakes go out, when you're driving at high speeds. They showed a video about how a police officer and his family lost their life because they did not know what they were doing.
Our comprehensive driver education program consists of 30 hours of classroom instruction and 6 hours of private driving lessons. The 30 hours of classroom are scheduled over 5 days, 6 hours a day, and the 6 hours of private driving lessons are done in 4 lessons, 1.5 hours each. In the classroom, we teach things that I didn't know the first 20 years of driving, things that can help a teenager be so much more intelligent than the average driver out there. The 6 hours of driving are private lessons. They're 4 lessons at 1.5 hours each, and it's using our car, our gas, and our insurance, but it's just the one student with the one instructor.
All right, so now when you sit naturally back in your seat, you shouldn't see any of your vehicle in the mirror, correct? Okay, and then we'll do the same thing to this one, except you're gonna lean towards the rear view mirror this time and adjust this one out or in or however you need to make that back door handle in that same spot.
I know that 6 hours a day for 5 days may seem like a lot for a teenager to sit in a classroom, so I try to design the classroom instructions so that it is interactive. I try to keep it high energy and keep the teenagers involved as much as possible. We do activities.
And it isn't just, just a lane change, it's also shared turn lanes. Even if, the double yellow line curves around and then enters the shared turn lane, there shouldn't be anyone beside you. But, I see it all the time where people try to pass around those double yellow lines. So even when you think that, no, there isn't going to be anyone there, go ahead and check. It takes 2 seconds. So
in our classroom instruction, we have guest speakers who come. I have one of the best. I say that he's had more DWI arrests than anyone else in the state of Arkansas, who actually comes and speaks to our class.
I've seen a lot of people throw a lot away just by one silly mistake. I know one night I arrested 2 young men that had been drinking and were driving and so forth, and both the parents were just livid because they both had baseball scholarships that they were getting ready to lose. And I feel bad for them, but still got to do my job. But I feel even worse for the person they may have killed if I'd let them go another mile down the road. You know, so think about those decisions. You know, it may be fun to go do something tonight, but if that something's going to cause a consequence, like you losing your license, losing your life, killing someone else, losing your scholarship, those things aren't worth it, you know, so that's why I like that one.
We have a guest speaker related to distracted driving. We have a Walmart truck driver come, and we set up several stations, 5 to 6 stations outside, where the teenagers break into small groups and rotate through those stations, where they learn something different at every station, whether it's reference points or the blind zone that they actually have around their vehicle, the technology that's available in newer cars. Of course, the blind zones around the truck. Each student gets to get in the driver's seat of that truck to see what they cannot see while sitting in that truck, especially when only the government-required mirrors are visible.
So now when you look in the mirror there, can you see the silver car behind us? How about in this mirror, can you see the silver car? So you want to stay out of that blind spot right there. So that whole right side is a blind spot. So you do not want to pass trucks or be on the right side of trucks if at all possible.
And I had the pleasure of having my son Aaron in the school 2 years ago. And it was a wonderful experience for both of us. Aaron came out learning a lot of great skills, and most of all, he learned a lot of confidence in his driving.
My confidence is a lot higher now that I've been out on the road ever since driving academy, because I don't feel as nervous as I used to, because as much as I trust my parents as good drivers, I do prefer to be taught by somebody who has been through the courses and knows how to teach.
You're always turning separately. So one is pulling while one is pushing, and so they're always going back to each other, and you just keep going back and forth. That's something you'd have to practice, though.
Yeah, actually, I know a lot of people that do it from Fayetteville. A lot of people from Fayetteville High School go through it, and it's great because we all have the same training, and it just helps us on the road.
I know sometimes parents share with us that they wish they could enroll their child in our program, but that they just don't feel like they could pay that much money for driver education. And I would challenge them to consider the cost of one fender bender, the cost of medical bills. While we cannot guarantee that we can prevent your child from having a collision, we can give them so much knowledge that can help reduce their risk tremendously.
Northwest Arkansas Driving Academy is a fabulous opportunity for your students to learn how to become a defensive driver, conscious of everything around them. And I just feel so much better about my son being on the road after going through the school. These are our kids. They're our most treasured possessions, and it is so worth every penny that you will spend.